What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to another Q&A segment. If you guys are not familiar with what this is where we come and answer a lot of y'all questions. It's pretty cool. We have someone new to CGX, and she's going to be helping me answer questions. So, Jazz, how you doing? Introduce yourself to the people.
I am doing great. I just got a whole new studio set up here. So I'm ready to do streams and podcasting and all of that stuff. So I went to Best Buy. I loaded up the shopping cart.
Uh-huh. You were not playing around. It's crazy.
Not playing games.
It's pretty cool to see that setup come alive. It's awesome. So just before we get started, people are going to roll in and questions are going to start coming in. But just tell the people a little bit about you and how you got into gaming and what you are most excited about when it comes to cloud gaming.
Oh man, so I've been gaming since I was just a wee tot. I mean, I was gaming back when the Atari was a thing. 1983 is the year I was born, so that was the birth of Nintendo and the NES, right? So,
Right.
I mean, I got right into it. So since I was probably like 5, I could hold a controller and understand what was going on. I've been playing games. So we're talking, NES, Super Nintendo, N64. And then in about the mid 90s, I hit the whole like PC thing, right? So I'm a little bit older and I'm interested in technology now. My mom had a work computer that could connect to the internet for her to send emails and stuff, right? But the internet wasn't really a big thing yet. So I was on the like bulletin board services.
Yeah.
And I was chatting, in the chat rooms, and it was mind blowing at the time. I was like, wow, I can chat in real time with people.
Yeah.
And ever since that moment, ever since I could dial in to a bulletin board service and chat with people like everybody does on Discord nowadays,
Yeah.
that changed my life. And I was like, the internet, being connected with people, being online, that's my thing. Like, that's like what I care about. And it's been that way ever since. I've never changed. Technology excites me. It gets me like out of bed in the morning. Like I'm excited to see what YouTubers are putting out and what's the news today. What's going on with Activision Blizzard today. What it's all of that stuff. Yeah. I am just like up to my neck in it, and I love it. So I was building computers when I was a teenager, going to LAN parties, all of that stuff.
Cool.
So the cloud gaming thing is like the perfect marriage of being fascinated by the internet, connectivity, and gaming. It's like the perfect pairing of these two things that I love.
Yeah.
So it's like my obsession. Like I absolutely love not having to worry about building computers anymore, not have to worry about hardware availability, not have to worry about, where am I going to stick all of these games that I bought? It's like all of this stuff. And as I've gotten older, I've become more of a minimalist. So I don't want to have stuff everywhere. I just don't. Yeah. Like I know some people love their physical media, and that's great. Right. Like I think there's a place for that. I think that is a thing people will always want. Mm-hmm. But for me, I want as little as possible. Like if I could just have a monitor and that's it, right. And the monitor has a storage device on it, and it just stores all the apps that I want, and I can just run everything on just a monitor, I would do that. Like I absolutely love that concept.
That's awesome. So let the people know which cloud game platform you use mainly and which would you say gets a lot of your attention?
So the main one, the one that got me into it, and all the Stadians are going to love it, is obviously Stadia, right? So that was the one that came out, mm-hmm. and it introduced this whole concept to me that this was even possible. Because, I mean, mm-hmm. I had thought about it in the past, mm-hmm. and I know it has been a thing in the past, but mm-hmm. Stadia was the thing that brought it into the forefront of gaming news and information. And I was just like blown away, like 4K on my TV, on my phone, on my computer, mm-hmm. anything that can access the internet. I'm like, all right, so this is what I've been waiting for. This is cool. Yeah. So I got on board with that. And then Luna came out, and I got into the trial or whatever. And I got the controllers, and I've been loving that too, because it's like a totally different business model. I like the idea of paying $6 and I just get everything. You know, like there's a game that came out today. Cool, I have it. You know what? I just love that.
Sure.
It's the power of the Game Pass by Microsoft as well. You just get games. You don't have to worry about cracking the wallet. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the difference between renting an apartment and owning a house. So when you're renting an apartment, like something goes wrong, like it's free. You fix it. That's like Luna, right? So that's like Luna. You're renting it. So anything that comes out, it's just yours. It's just there. You know, anything, you know, it's free. It's free. And then there's, if you own a house, that would be like Stadia. So now there's a game that comes out. It's like a surprise expense. Now I have to pay. Does this analogy make sense?
It does. It does. Yeah.
Like if you own a house, you have these big expenses, right? But then you own the items. Technically, they're yours. You're not gonna, you know. So it's like these two different business models that I can indulge in.
Okay.
So Luna's like a perfect complement. Sorry. Luna's like a great complement to Stadia, or a great complement because it's only $6 and you get so much content for that $6.
True. Right. So when it comes to Stadia, what's your favorite game you would say you played the most on the platform?
I have put the most hours into Uno, but only because my family and I play that every weekend. It's like a family game, and it brings us all together. So I got my mom and my sister Stadia Premier Editions last year, so we could all play together. Yeah, so that's awesome. And it became a thing. Like every Sunday we play Uno for at least an hour, and we talk and we catch up, and it's awesome. But my mom's never been a gamer, and Uno has, like, she loves it. She plays it when I'm not on, and I'm like, whoa, my mom's on Stadia right now without me. Like, what? Besides that, Cyberpunk, I sank about 50 hours into that, so that was my second most played.
Okay. So are you doing the whole like family sharing account thing to where if you purchase one game, like the whole family?
No, actually, no. Like we're all separated, my sister and I and my mom. Yeah. So we all just buy, like all we've gotten is Uno to play together. Cause I don't know if, you know, my mom, is she going to be able to play anything else? So
yeah.
Like I didn't want her to get overwhelmed. So I thought Uno would be a great starter game.
Great start. Yeah. Definitely. Cool. And then for Luna, what stands out to you mostly? Like, what have you played the most in that platform?
What I like Luna has stuff like I played Control on it, but now Control is on Stadia. So I played and finished Control on Luna, and I loved it. It plays phenomenally. I mean, it plays just as well as Stadia, in my opinion. From my connection, I know it's varied wherever you are. It's not always going to be the same. So Control was great. What else did I play? I played a little bit of the Sonic. Which was good. That most recent one, what's it called? Sonic. I can't remember. It was originally like a fan game, or the guy that made fan games or something. Then Sega hired him. I forgot the name of the. Is
it Sonic Mania or Mana?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sonic Mania. Yes, and that's great. Yeah. That's a great game.
It's a fun one.
Gosh, what else have I been playing? Let me pull it up now, because now I'm like. Let's see here. Let me pull up Luna and see, because I know I played something else recently, and I can't remember. Oh, Riders Republic. So yeah. So
big one.
Because I have the Ubisoft Plus subscription, which is great because I can play both. I can play it on Stadia or Luna, either platform. So it's great. I can play these games wherever they play the best. And Riders Republic actually played better on Luna, so I was happy to see that it had a higher frame rate on Luna. Yeah. So I've been playing it there and enjoying it.
That's awesome. That's really cool. How about
even though I'm terrible at
Riders Republic. The game
is terrible at Riders Republic. I'm like I do those mass races. I don't know if you've done those before.
Yeah, I tried it once or twice. Yeah, it's difficult.
I'm terrible at the mass. I always end up in like 50th place or something. I never even finish.
That's crazy. It's tough. So Xbox Cloud Gaming, what are you playing on there?
Xbox. So I played some Halo Infinite, and I played some Forza. Okay. The new Forza Horizon 5. Yeah. And wow, I mean, it's like you have an Xbox basically. You know, like the problem with that though is you can only play it on your phone or your computer. Yeah. So I've tried to get it on my TV with very little success. I've tried side loading it on Fire Sticks, side loading it on Chromecasts. I've tried hooking up my laptop to the TV. Like everything either has too much latency or the app is just buggy and it doesn't work right. You get like sound glitches and it just doesn't stay connected very well. It's like so many problems. And I'm sure Microsoft's going to fix that in the future. They're going to release an app that's compatible. They're going to do this eventually. But right now, the biggest limitation of xCloud is you can't get it on your TV, and that's where people want to play. They want to play on their TV. Unless you have an Xbox, you can't do it.
Yeah. So what would you recommend them do to make that a possibility?
Gosh, I just released the app. Like, get the app streamlined. Like Stadia. Get it on TVs. Get it on app stores. Get the app like compatible with more devices. Like it's that simple. Like if I can load the APK on my phone and it works, there's an app already. It just needs to be like more compatible with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because like it runs fine on my phone, and then when I put it on a Chromecast, like the Chromecast with Google TV, it just runs like crap.
Yeah,
it runs like total garbage.
Yeah. They just have to make, like, I don't know if people remember this, but Stadia, when you tried to sideload it on Android TV devices, it worked, right? But if you look at the app that they recently released for Android TV, it works a hell lot better. And so I think it's like a matter of optimizing the app to work for Android TV devices. And I definitely think it's a doable thing, right? It's just a matter of time.
They'll do it. I mean, it's in beta. It's in beta right now. They just got it on the web browser. So I mean, it's like it's on their to-do list. But I mean, Microsoft's to-do list right now is a mile long. So it's like they're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
They can only give so much time and money and staffing to this one section of Game Pass. So I mean, it's gonna get there. It's just gonna take a little bit of time. Just like with Luna, I think Microsoft and Amazon saw what happened to Stadia. They saw Stadia have a rocky launch and get all this bad press, and they don't want that to happen to their platform. Like they've seen it happen now. They're like, all right, so we're going to take this baby steps very slowly.
Right.
And we're not going to push it. We're not going to just push out features without extensive testing. Like they want to make sure everything is perfect before they launch it, because they don't want to have Twitter get mad at them. Because I mean, you see what happens. Like people go crazy, and then it picks up snowballing effects, and all of a sudden Stadia is like, everybody hates it. It's like a lot of the things people hate it for are over a year old now, 2 years old now. It's like
it's true. It's true. I people have expectations, and I think like from the gaming community, just seeing how well a physical console handles the games. I mean, you look at the Series X and the PlayStation 5, no latency, right? People sometimes expect that. The same scenario with cloud, and when it doesn't reach that performance, it becomes an issue. But yeah, I've been saying this for the longest time. Cloud is still in this infant stage, right? And they have some work to do.
Yeah, it's very much a baby at this
point. But eventually we start seeing them, get those things corrected and improve.
But even being in its infancy, I mean, how crazy is it that I can fire up Stadia on my Chromebook, and I can play any game with a keyboard and mouse or a controller, then I can instantly switch it to my TV with a Stadia controller, and I don't feel the latency personally. I mean, I'm pretty sensitive to input lag, and I don't notice it.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is the platform in its infancy.
Yeah.
And we're already seeing fantastic results. It's not like,
right.
It's not like when the internet first started.
Yeah.
And you had like, GeoCities. Remember those web pages were just like awful. The flashing star backgrounds and the really low resolution images. It's like we started cloud gaming in its infancy at 4K, 60 frames. 60 FPS, You know what I mean? Like it's just like right there.
True. So the beautiful part is like it can only go up from here.
Yeah, right.
You're seeing all these companies like upgrading the server blades and the service, and you're seeing Geforce now with the 3080 tier Xbox Cloud gaming with the custom Series X blades, and we know Stadia. We've heard rumors of Gen 2 in the making. So going forward, right, we're ready to get start when it comes to performance and features. It can only get better from here on out. So it's
Oh
really
yeah.
exciting.
This
Really
is like the
excited.
start of Netflix streaming. When Netflix
Yeah.
first started,
So
everybody's
true.
like, what
Yeah.
a shit service.
Yeah.
It's not very great. I'm just going to keep
Yeah.
getting my Blu-rays or my DVD, well, not even Blu-ray at the time, just my DVDs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
screw it. I don't want streaming. Like my internet can't handle that. It keeps lagging
Right.
out. I have DSL. I have like, like that was the time period, right?
Yeah.
And
So
now,
true. So true.
imagine not having a streaming service now. Like you
Yeah.
couldn't survive.
Yeah. True.
Everybody has to have some sort of streaming service.
Yeah.
That's what happened to that industry. What do you think is going to happen to gaming? That's exactly what's going to happen to gaming.
So true. So let me ask you this question, right? What are your thoughts? And I think this is good. Again, you going to be around CGX for quite some time, so it's cool for people to know like what you thought on platforms as a whole. But just moving forward, where do you see these platforms going? What changes do you see them making? I guess we can start like individually, like Google Stadia, right? If they can do something to improve for you right now, what would you say it is? And break it down for Amazon Luna and Xbox Cloud Gaming Spall. And I see you guys in the chat too. We'll pull some of you guys in here too. But go ahead.
For Stadia, I think their business model is, I think it's fine. Like it's paying for games, you get the game. It's no different than the eShop. It's no different than the PlayStation Store. I mean, it's the same thing. I don't know why people are so up in arms about how terrible it is. You pay for the game, you get the game. I mean, I know there's no downloads.
No.
So it's not technically on your hard drive or anything. But I mean, come on, guys. On your PlayStation, when you buy a game, you can't, like, most of those games have to be you have to be connected online anyway, or it has to have some sort of verification process. So like if the servers were taken down, you wouldn't be able to access it anyway. Yeah. Like a lot of those games are designed that way these days, right? Yeah. For DRM purposes, all sorts of reasons.
Right.
So like even Halo Infinite, it's shipped without a complete game on the disc, right? Yeah. So like if you bought Halo Infinite, a hard copy, that disc does not have the data to play Halo Infinite. You have to connect to the internet and download a chunk of it. It's just like, that's the future. So I don't think Stadia's buy to play model is wrong. I think that's fine for people that want that. I think that that's a perfectly viable market. In terms of what they can improve on, their marketing. I mean, come on. That's and I know people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but
it's all good.
It's like they're so bad.
Yeah.
And I rant on Discord about this. They're so bad at talking to their audience, to gamers in general. Like we saw that holiday. I mean, that's the thing that's blown up. The 12 days of Stadia, right? And that first thing they announce is a free game that's already been free. It's like, what?
Yeah. Right.
Why? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. So like what do you think is going on with the marketing? Do you think they lack staff, or why do you think they?
I honestly have no idea. Like I've tried to think about this. I'm like, why would this happen? Like to me, it's like somebody that doesn't play games or look at Twitter or talk on Discord. It's like somebody that's like disconnected from their community. That's what it sounds like to me. Like somebody that's not paying attention at all. Like somebody that goes in to the office to get a paycheck and does not look and get their feet dirty in this community. Like they're not paying attention. They're not looking at stuff. And they're just like writing tweets or like, where is like, I don't know. Honestly, that's the only thing I could think of.
No, it's a big thing, and like if you look at, I've talked to a lot of people who are not involved in cloud, and they'll tell you that's the biggest thing that it turns them off away from the service. Just a lot of potential. Again, this is free. This is a free tier. Stadia can market the crap out of that, right, to get more awareness of the product, but in a way they don't say anything, or if they do, they shoot themselves in the foot, like we see with this promotion they have going on. But I agree with
Stadia should
you.
have been, they had, and I typed about this on Discord earlier, they had a blank check going into Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk was a huge get for them. Everybody was like, now wait a second, Stadia is actually the best place to play this game.
Yeah.
It's better than my gaming computer. It's better than my PS4. It's better than my Xbox One or Series X.
Right.
It's better than anything. And it's this massive game with a huge download, tons of voice work, so the files are huge.
Yeah.
And you can play it immediately.
Yeah.
It, like, they had a huge win. That was like the biggest W Stadia's had. And going into that holiday season, it was all positive. All of the press about Stadia was positive.
Yeah.
There were people that hated Stadia that were saying, you know what? Maybe we need to rethink what we were saying, because this is good. Like, this is what we want to see from cloud gaming, and this is what we were promised, and here it is. Like, this is it right here. And Stadia was like, they were basking in it, right? Like, the social media was like, yeah, like, you need to play it on here. And like, I had friends that just bought Cyberpunk on Stadia and didn't even know about Stadia at all up until that moment. They're like, oh, Stadia is like where you need to get it. Okay. I can go on my web browser and just play it. It was huge.
Yeah.
And then, what, 2 months later, we're closing SG&E. Like, oh my, like, all of the momentum you had, all of it was just completely destroyed. And people are like, well, that's fine. Like, that's fine. That's not like they're focusing on third parties, Ellie. That's good for the business. That's good. That's fine. I'm like, well, that's fine, but that's not the public perception. You see that everybody thinks it's dying. Yeah. So you instantly took all of that positive press, all of that momentum, and just ran it into a brick wall. Yeah. And it hasn't recovered since. Like that. Yeah. And then they went into a pandemic. During this pandemic, people can't get Xbox Series X's. They can't get PS5s. Yeah. They can't get a GPU to build their computer. So people are stuck on their old hardware. And they still can't sell this cloud gaming concept. It's like, you're in the easiest market you could have. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody can get hardware. Yeah. Cloud gaming is about not having hardware. Yeah. And you can't sell your thing in this market. Yeah. If you can't sell it in this market, then I don't know how you're supposed to ever sell it. Yeah. Like, this is like the easiest time you could ever sell this thing.
Right. It's quite interesting, because like you hear people say the pandemic kind of derailed Google Stadia's plans, right? You hear people say like Google Stadia probably would have like took off if the pandemic didn't happen. But if you look at the video game market as a whole, right, everyone seems to be doing extremely well right now in the video game space. PS5, Xbox One, Series X launched and still selling incredibly well. Hard to find. The Switch has been sold out, still is hard to find, but still selling at a record pace, right? So in the gaming space, everyone seems to be doing pretty well. And you have a free product for gaming. People who can't find the PS5, Xbox Series X, they can still game potential like next-gen graphics with Cyberpunk. And for some reason, right, people are just not buying into Google Stadia as a whole. Yeah, it's just, I feel personally there's something off with marketing, and hopefully they can figure that out. But let's move on, right? Let's check in with Luna. For you, what do you think they can do to improve?
For Luna, they need 4K, which is coming. It's going to happen. It's not here yet. I mean, even on their like when you launch the platform and you launch a game, you go to the settings, it even says 4K coming soon with a grayed out little checkbox. So it's definitely coming. It needs more channels, because right now they're functioning on a channel system. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a platform that's going to have little like other streaming platforms built into it. So you're going to have Luna's own platform, Ubisoft. They're going to have like a retro channel. They're going to have like maybe EA or something. Like they're going to have like different stations you can subscribe to, kind of like a premium, like a cable subscription. You pay for your base cable, and then you can add on HBO. You can add on Showtime, like that type of stuff. And they just need more. Like they need more. But I mean, it's still in pre-release. It's still very limited. It's only in the US. So like I can kind of forgive them for that because it's not like really here yet.
Okay.
But
Fair enough.
I mean, it's going to happen. It's one of those things that just takes time.
Yeah, true. Fair enough. And then for Xbox Cloud Gaming, what do you think? I know you talked about, you know, TV support being a big thing, but what else do you think they can do to improve the service?
They need 4K again because right now they upgraded from 720 to 1080, which was a big bump. With the they used the Series X hardware on the blades for their servers, that was a big bump. It was a big load time bump, especially because the original xCloud on that old Xbox One S, those load times were awful. Oh, they were bad. They were so bad.
Yeah.
But now the platform's speedy, it's snappy, it looks good. It just needs the 4K and it needs the TV support. Those are the two things that are holding it back a little bit. But other than that, I mean, there's not much like Game Pass. I'm talking about xCloud. That is the giant, that is the elephant in the room. That's like the looming monster that's set to consume cloud gaming. Because once Microsoft gets that up to Stadia's level, meaning 4K, meaning up to 60 frames, all of that, that's going to be a really tough competitor. Because now you've got somebody with exclusives, like huge industry standard setting exclusives like Halo, like Forza, like now they have Bethesda, so they're gonna have Doom and Elder Scrolls, Starfield. I mean, these are massive games that people can pay $15 and play on anything, right? Yeah. So it's big, and that's gonna be that's what the industry is afraid of. Because as soon as Microsoft gets all of those features in there and they get it on your TV without an Xbox, that's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
So the concept of Game Pass or xCloud or Xbox Cloud Game, if you want to call it that, now is like a Netflix like service for gaming. Right, so you pay a subscription fee and you have access to all these games that you can play instantly, just like Netflix with video. Do you think that model is going to be like the winning formula? Or do you think if they, go the Google Stadia route to where you can purchase games from the Xbox Marketplace and use Xbox Cloud Game to stream it, do you feel like that's when Xbox Cloud Game is going to take off? Or do you just still see them taking off just with this subscription model they have now? What do you thought?
I think the general public, probably 80% of what people want out there, when they think of streaming, they think of cloud, they think of a la carte. I pay, $6, $10, $15, and I get just whatever I want. Like, it's just like a service where I can pick and choose an entire catalog. I don't have to worry about paying another $50 for a new game, $60, $70 for a new game. It's just, I pay a subscription. This is what I get. That's the mindset people have because of Netflix, because of Disney Plus. I think that's the model that people, by and large, that's what they want, right? So that's what the Luna model is. That's what Game Pass is. You pay the subscription, you get the games. I think that's the biggest hurdle for Stadia in terms of its business model, is telling people they have to pay. I know there's a lot of sales and those are great, but telling people they have to pay, full retail to play a game on a streaming service, to them it's like, but I don't have to pay, $30 for a Blu-ray on Netflix. I just pull it up. Why can't I do that on Stadia? That's their mindset. That's That's the general public. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So for xCloud, I think what they have right now
Mm-hmm.
is perfect. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
They need to, for the cloud only folks that don't have an Xbox, they need to make it so when you buy DLC, it doesn't disappear when the game disappears. The problem with xCloud is that if I don't have an Xbox and the games rotate, if I buy DLC for a game and it rotates out next week, it's just gone. Like the money I spent on that DLC is pointless because I can't download the game. I can't play the game anymore. It's gone. It's evaporated into the ether. It's just disappeared. So I spent $10 on a skin pack or something, and it's just gone. Like the game's gone. The DLC is gone.
Yeah.
So if you're a cloud only gamer and you play you're getting into a game on xCloud, and they have like an expansion, you buy the expansion, and then a week later they're like, "Oh, this is being dropped from xCloud. You better have some free time because you need to get. You're gonna have to get through that DLC before that game goes out the door because you're never gonna be able to play it again."
Yeah. Yeah. True. Good point. Good point. So let's. I did before we get to the questions. Let's check in with GFN because this one that we haven't covered for a reason. You don't have Geforce now.
I do not.
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So just tell the people more about that and tell them why and tell them if what GFN has to do to convince you to subscribe to that service.
So GFN, I see GFN as a companion piece or companion service to a PC gamers library. So if I had 200 games on Steam and I want to be able to play them on my Chromebook in my living room, or I'm going to a relative's house and I want to play that when I'm over there, say you're like getting together for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, and you want to bring your PC library with you, that's how I see that service. I don't have a PC library of games that I want to play. So if I were to do GFN, I would have to go onto Steam and like buy games. And I just like, I don't care. Like, I don't care enough to do that. Like, I am fine with the games I have. And I'm not saying, look, guys, I'm not saying that GFN is bad. I'm saying GFN is great for people that are into PC gaming and have been into PC gaming for a while.
Yeah.
Then you have a library, and paying a fee to access that anywhere is a great deal, especially with 3080 support and all that stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah. So if there's like an incentive for you to kind of build your Steam library, your Epic Games Store library, do you think GFN would be something you potentially get into?
Yes.
Like,
I mean, I don't really see much wrong with the service outside of the interface. I've heard people say like the UI is really like kind of bad. I haven't used it personally, so I don't know. But I've heard that it's kind of a mess and that it's not as click and play as Stadia or Luna. Like if they can get everything to where it's super simple and easy, where you don't have to like do any hoop jumping to get to your game, then I would be more inclined.
Okay. I think we'll talk to the GFN guides and try to get you set up with a rig and build your library.
I had somebody on the Discord tell me about Shadow PC today, and I knew about it. But I didn't think it was a big deal. I thought maybe it had even closed. I had not heard anything about it in a long time, and he was like, "You should look into it because you have a Chromebook. You would have access to a full Windows machine.
Yeah,
it's $30 a month, which really isn't that bad." And I looked at that website. I was like, "Man, this is actually kind of cool."
Yeah,
like I could play any PC game.
I think to start GFN for you first, and then we can talk.
And then we can talk Shadow. Yeah.
Shadow's a beast of its own for sure. All right, let's answer some of these questions. You cool with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. Let's see here. So Polaris says he likes this 3080 tier. I want the local one. Yeah, again, we were talking about this with the pandemic now, trying to find a local 3080 is rough. And that's kind of where cloud gaming is excelling right now, right? Just being able to play these games to have access to pretty beefy rigs like the 3080
Oh
gives
yeah,
you.
especially a 3080.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, do you kind of answered this around the same what is Stadia's 12th day of Christmas? I don't know if you're trolling at this point, Ron, but do you want to, Jess, do you want to, are you aware of what that is? Do you want to let
Yeah,
them know?
so they said it was like 12 days. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something like 12 days of Stadia games, right? Of like,
Hmm.
and they said something about gifting or whatever. I
Yeah.
can't remember, but people thought like it was going to be a new gifting thing you could do, kind of like Steam, where you could send gifts, like games as a gift to people, but that's not a part of it.
Hmm.
So it turned out it's like, I thought it was going to be 12 days of sales. Like I thought it
Hmm.
was like the Christmas sale. This is how they're
Hmm.
doing it. They're going to do a game a day for 12 days. I thought that was the thing, but I
Hmm.
guess it's not. And now with the Destiny is their their first announcement. Now I really don't know what it is. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
like, what is it now? Is it just like 12 things you're going to talk about? Like Stadia has voice chat. Welcome to day 2. Like, I don't like, what is day 2? Like, I don't know what day 2 is going to be.
Yeah.
Did
We
they
should
announce it yet?
know.
Like, I don't know.
Actually, that's what I was just thinking. We should know by now, because it's past 9 a.m. And yesterday
Yeah,
they
let me look it
announced day
up.
one at 9 a.m. But yeah, so it's
Stadia.
supposed to. You're right on. It's supposed to be like a promotion to where for 12 days was supposed to be getting gifted something to Stadia universe. But again, the controversies, the first gift was Destiny, which is free for
It's a
everyone to
free
play
to
in
play
Stadia.
game.
So
Wow.
yeah, the community was up in arms about that one for sure. But yeah, I'm curious to see what they offered for day two. So if you find it, let me know while I.
It's not, I don't think they've tweeted it yet. I don't see it.
Yeah, I wonder if they like going back to the drawing board, because if you go on Reddit, if you go on Reddit, people were seriously not cutting them any slack, and then also in the Twitter post, they got it from a lot of people. So
Oh yeah.
I hope that it wasn't what you were talking about with just like announcement every day, right? Like his second day we have Stream Connect. I hope it's more of like, let's hook you guys up with some cool
That's
stuff
what
for
people
12
want.
days.
People
Yeah,
want,
exactly.
like
Exactly.
at bare minimum, we want a sale, right? We want the
Yeah,
holiday sale. We want
true.
discounts. We want
True.
fun things to look forward to, not Destiny 2.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. And again, hopefully they should post one today, because this is supposed to be like a 12-day thing.
Yes,
But
exactly.
we'll pay close attention to that for sure. Uh, just tuned in, no mention of subscription service. I heard you were saying Paul Martin. Yeah, she was. She was saying
Yes.
marketing something that Stadia can improve on. We went through each platform, and I think for Stadia was marketing, right?
Yes. And look, I love Grace. I think Grace is awesome. I love Grace. I think she's great. I like Chris. Like I've been on the official Stadia Discord. These are extremely nice people. And I can't believe it's their fault by any means. I
Yeah,
think it's something else. I don't think like Grace controls the entirety of marketing.
yeah,
Um, I don't know what the problem is, but there's an issue with whoever is writing this. This Twitter itinerary is just like awful, or their lack of marketing. I mean, the lack of anything.
yeah.
And I
True.
get it. Like, and I've heard talk about this, and I've heard other people talk about this. And their silence, in a way, makes sense. They're trying to get everything where they want it. They're like they're keeping their heads down, type of thing, and that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
But like, there's so much negativity around the platform, and like I wish Stadia could do something to mitigate that. I just want people to stop saying Stadia is bad. Like I'm just I'm just so tired of going into a Discord and saying Stadia is my platform, or what are you playing? And I say I'm playing this on Stadia, and I just get laughed out of the room. Like I absolutely hate that. It's
Yeah.
it's oh, it's
It's
frustrating.
not fun. It's not fun, right? So you have the Nerf report, which you're a fan of.
Bryant,
Yeah, just
I love
saying,
Bryant. That's my man.
just saying hi to you. So you heard it here, Brian. Cool, cool. Um, let's
Oh, I saw
see.
that. I saw that comment. I saw that Nerf report back. It was like
It
popped
popped
right
up
off
to
the
you,
screen.
yeah. So we have Ron here saying GFN is king. So it's really cool with this channel, right? Because again, we're just a mixed pot of everything. So you're gonna get like stadiums, you're gonna get GFNers. I hate saying
Oh
that, but
yeah.
this,
Yep.
you're gonna get lunatics like Brian suggested we call Amazon Luna fans. And we're gonna get people who love Shadow PC. So it's the beautiful thing about this channel. You're
Well,
gonna
that's what's
meet
great about
all.
cloud gaming is
Yeah,
it's got so
true,
many avenues you can take to
true,
get there, and they all have their own thing. Like they all have their
yeah,
own like way of doing it.
right. So true. And we have Holtz. You didn't meet Holtz yesterday when we were introduced, but he's also another member of the panel. So on Saturday, hopefully if he's there, you probably meet him too. But he
Look at
was
all these
saying,
handsome dudes, man.
he was
Cloud
saying,
gaming extreme is like the
it's
Chippendales
oh
of
gosh, that's hilarious. But Holtz here is saying GFN is the king of simulators. So if you love simulators like Duncan, you met him yesterday too. That's his thing. So he loves GFN. But for you, maybe that if you do like simulators, maybe that's what can convince you to check out the platform for sure. But yeah, uh,
simulators like
like
Farming Simulator
farming
that's on Stadia.
exactly,
Oh, yep, that's on
exactly.
Stadia.
Yeah, yeah. So games like that, you see,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah.
bunch of them. I can't even remember all the names of them, but I think Dean here is saying the UI is fine. Finding games can be annoying, and he's talking about GFN too, like you were mentioning. You heard right about the interface and UI being rough. So I think he's kind of agreeing with you here.
Okay.
But I don't know. You haven't met Hell Monkey, but he is a member of CGX
I've
Cloud
heard to
Gaming
watch out
Extreme.
for Hell Monkey. He's got a name that just like implies you need to be careful.
Yeah, but he is MIA right now because I think you're okay with me sharing this, Monkey, but Monkey's in the hospital.
Oh,
Had
that's
a
right. Yeah, you told me about
serious,
this.
yeah, serious accident. So he's recovering. That's why you haven't seen news vids from him. But I think I need to give just a couple of months. Yeah, true. Play games. That's I'm like I was saying. I think I'm gonna get you connected with the GeForce Now people. So you can just experience it. I'm curious to know like what your thoughts are gonna be like
Well, I know
after
Meg loves it.
try
So
it. Yeah.
Megatron,
Yeah.
I've watched her for a long time, and she
Mhm.
plays a lot of GFN and
Mhm.
loves it. So I'm
Right.
sure I would like it. I'm not.
Yeah. 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 So we got to make that happen. And Monkey, I think you're right on here for sure. So GFN is the best ping for me. Holds the same. Cool. Cool. Um. So anybody have Max and Tooth AMD rig? We do. It works well. Victor is another loyal member. You're gonna see him on most of our
All
chats
right.
and podcasts.
I
So
like that name, Victor.
Victor, and he always comes with the
Victor.
Haya. So if you see Haya in the chat, just know who
It's
that is.
Victor.
Exactly. It should be a song. Oh gosh. 12th day of Christmas. Our Google gave to me. Funny holds. Funny, funny, funny. Oh, this is hilarious. Second day of gifting from the Stadia team is gonna be a Destiny skin of
A
some sort.
Destiny skin.
Oh
That's
gosh.
already available on Prime Gaming, probably, or something like that, that you
True,
already
true.
have. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully not, right? Or if I the okay. Yeah. Let's see. 12 days of Stadia is good stuff, holiday themed. Is it? I don't know. I don't know.
Holiday themed.
I don't know.
Well, the
I
first one certainly wasn't. It was just
Yeah,
Destiny.
it's just Destiny.
It's
That's
just
true.
Destiny.
That's true. Good point with that. But xCloud should also support it, mouse and keyboard. I agree with you 100% here. I don't know why we do have a workaround. Chief did a video on that if you guys were interested. But yeah, I agree. So, GFN has keyboard and mouse support. Luna does too, and so the Stadia is quite interesting that Xbox Cloud Gaming does.
Now my devil's advocate to that would be xCloud is just an Xbox in the cloud. So the Xbox as a console does have keyboard and mouse support for some titles. Not very many, but they do have keyboard and mouse for certain specific games. It's not like a broad, stroke of like hundreds of games. It's like a 50 game selection at most. And I don't think they really see that as necessary because like 98% of Xbox people are playing on a controller. So they're just like, this is an Xbox in the cloud. We want to keep it simple with connectivity by just making everybody use a controller because that's what everybody's using anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't.
Yeah. That's fair.
And whereas Luna and Stadia are platform agnostic. They're not a console, right? Yeah. They have nothing to do with that market, so to speak. Whereas xCloud is just an Xbox. It's like an Xbox chunk of hardware sitting in a network rack somewhere.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. And Xbox has never xCloud or Xbox, they've never like catered specifically to the PC market as far as to where like Google Stadia, the advertisement pretty much is like play on any device, right? And same thing with Luna, same thing with GFN. But maybe eventually they'll start pushing that market in, right, to play on any device, including PC, and then we might, potentially get an update for that.
Yeah, so, like I could see them offering support for mouse and keyboard on the games that offer support for mouse and keyboard on the actual console itself. But they're not going to include mouse and keyboard for games that the actual console does not have mouse and keyboard on, because that would be essentially cheating. That's how they see it. They're like, well, you can't have somebody in like an FPS be mixed in with a mouse and keyboard player if they have a controller, just because it's not even. It's like you have an aimbot comparatively.
Yeah. Sure, and something to take into consideration, right? The xCloud or Xbox Cloud Gaming games, that because there's also Game Pass for PC, but I would say mainly when a game is on Xbox Cloud Gaming, it's actually the console variant of the game. So if you go in multiplayer and the game is not a play anywhere type of game, then yeah, you're right. You, in a way, if they do support mouse and keyboard, it is an advantage over the console game, which xCloud is geared towards. So
exactly. So it's just not in their interest. It's not in their interest to offer like an extensive keyboard and mouse support. It's just not like Microsoft is just like, that's not, if they even ever do it. I mean,
well, we'll see. It's definitely one to keep an eye out for, though, for sure. But 0 games for me. He's a face you'll see here a lot too, but he says hi to you as well.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. I wish I can try Stadia. Looks great. Not in my country yet. That's a bummer. What country are you from? And hopefully,
cloud gaming. The biggest hurdle I think it has is connectivity. Like the internet, just like who can get the good speeds, who can't, who is the service available to, anybody can get a box and put it under their TV, but when it comes to the internet, it's not the same everywhere.
True. That's Chief did a video, talking about like how cloud gaming is not ready because all these different things you have to take into consideration, right? While playing cloud gaming is not going to be the same for everyone, and what you might be in a different.
Country. Bill and Lloyd from Nerd Nest talked about that quite a bit on one of their shows. That it was like Bill came right out and said to the camera, "You're gonna hate me for saying this," you know, but it's just not ready. It's not ready for prime time.
Sure, it's true. Boosteroid. What about? Are you familiar with Boosteroid?
I do recognize it.
Okay.
I am not
Yeah.
super familiar with it though.
Yeah, they're cloud gaming similar to GFN, to where you purchase a game from Steam, I believe Epic as well, and you can pretty much use the service to play it. It's limited to 1080p though, and they are in EU right now, and they said by the end of this year they're going to be coming out in the States. So a lot of people excited. The thing with Boosteroid is they have games that we still joke about around about, like, how the hell do they have Activision games? They have EA games. They have Genshin Impact, which is a game that you can't even play on any virtual PC like shot. So they have all these games that, you know, people want. Like, people like give us Call of Duty and Stadia. It's on Boosteroid, right? So a lot of people are excited for this to come to the States, and it's almost here. So yeah, it's exciting stuff. But I agree, they do need to improve the streaming tech. Again, it's 1080p right now, and so Ben is laughing at Chippendale. Did I miss? Did you?
Oh,
Send
I said you guys are like the Chippendales
Oh, okay. Cloud.
of cloud gaming. All the handsome guys.
Yeah, you got a kick out of that for sure. Yeah. So Victor is wishing you get well soon, Hell Monkey. So yeah, get well, my dude. There you go. There you go. I'm trying to see, is this a lot of questions, just trying to make sure I'm not missing them. Is he getting in contact with GFN? Can you? So
Final Fantasy VII Remastered.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll talk to you about it, but it's news that you might not like. But yeah, funny you say Jazz. This Destiny Park and Prime. Oh, really?
Oh, that came out.
Good
Yes, yes. Well, I mean, Prime Gaming always has some sort of promo thing going with Destiny 2, so it was an easy. That was a layup of a joke for me.
Yeah. So this guy, I'll just give you a heads up. You want to stay far away from. Do not come close to this guy. And your mama knows he goes by the name of Anthony. My goodness, he is something else. So just heads up.
All right.
I'm joking. He's a cool guy. He has a YouTube channel. You probably
have a good poker face. I was like,
oh, you were buying that?
Like, how is this guy not banned if he's like crazy?
But no, he has a YouTube channel, and your mama knows. You probably have seen him.
I think I recognize the name.
The cowboy hat, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I've probably seen him on Twitter.
Yeah. But he's always dropping in here. We just make jokes back and forth. So hold up. To say they have games coming out in 2022, all we know so far right now is Ubisoft games. Really, it's sad, but that's why a lot of people are in the fence with this platform, because we really don't have a roadmap of what the 2022 plan is, right? But we know around March time, February, March, they give us an updated roadmap. So we're hoping that we do see them do that again next year. But
I mean, there's going to be games that come out on Stadia in 2022.
Mm-hmm,
I mean,
the question though is that is it going to be like newer games, right? You see them like filling up the back catalog. I mean, we're getting like the Dynasty Warriors. I believe it's 9 or 10. I can't remember. You see them getting like all these older games. I think people are asking the question, if a game is coming out next year, right? Are we going to see that come to Google Stadia?
I mean, yeah, there's gonna be games that they get. I mean, it's gonna have. We don't know what it's gonna be, but I mean, there's gonna be stuff that comes out on Stadia. I can almost promise you. I mean, we got Chorus just now.
That's true. Same day release.
They've been doing more of these just like quick drops. You know, they're not really talking about it much. Yeah. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like this huge news behind it. I don't know why they do it that way, but that seems to be like a thing. for Stadia.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Henny, if you're asking about Boosteroid of GTA 5 and Resident Evil 2's on there, yes, they both are on Boosteroid. Again, like I was saying, the service is insane with the amount of games that they have on there. Okay, so this is the guy I told you to stay away from. He's asking the question. How are all the guys? But oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna skip that question. Does it mean you'll see him around? Another question from Anthony. Why are you excited about the roadmap when GFN has it? Wait, what? Why are you excited about the roadmap when GFN has a roadmap and all the games suck? Oof.
Oof. Yeah, that's tough.
Oof. Yeah. Does GFN have a roadmap? I don't know. I mean, they have a December roadmap, right? But I don't think they have a 2022 roadmap yet. But I agree. I would say if you watch the podcast, I said their December lineup is very weak.
I mean, it's GFN. Who cares? I'm kidding, you guys. I'm kidding.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Just play it on Steam. You have a computer that can run it, right? Just play it on your computer.
Look, Hellmonkey says usually you see Anthony's ego before hearing him. I'm like, oh gosh. All right, cool. So Ron says GFN games is better than Stadia games. Okay, some of the we have about 5 more minutes. So keep those questions coming so we can answer them. Can you use GFN on a Game Pass game you downloaded and add to your Steam library? So right now, Game Pass is not a store that's supported in GFN. Before GFN came out of beta, you were able to play Microsoft's game, but after they got out of beta and a lot of devs left, Microsoft was one of those devs. So if you are trying to play a Game Pass PC game on GFN, you can't. It has to be either through GOG, Epic, or Steam, right? So, or Ubisoft Plus, or whatever they call that these days. So hopefully that answers that question. It's super weak for yes, I agree. GFN
what games came out or come out this month?
Oof. I'll pull up the roadmap and post it on here. It's pretty weak. Geforce Now blog. It's a big game that's coming out this week on Epic Game Store that GFN is not getting with Final. That's what Host was talking about with Final Fantasy VII. But yeah, where is that? It's again. You're gonna
I got
see.
him here.
Oh, you got them. Okay. Did you see the blog with the December roadmap?
Yeah, I just posted it in the private chat here, so you can click it.
Tag, you're quick. It's fast.
I'm not new to this internet thing.
Yes, it's awesome. There we go. All right, share my screen with y'all. That's the cool thing with the StreamYard program. It's just so simple.
I love it. Yeah, this is my first time using it, or well, second time now, and I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool. So these are the games coming to GFN. Again, Chorus, I would say, is a pretty good game. Icarus. So when they made this announcement, I would say releasing this week, all these games were pretty good, right? Chorus, Icarus, War Tales, Rune King, it's good. But then you look at the rest of the month, and these are the games coming. And I would say these are the weak games that a lot of people were referring to here. But
yeah. These Monopoly Madness, we have that on Stadia.
Stadium as well. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's start. Icarus is great. What up, Maker? Maker of Chaos is another guy you'll see around here too. So good stuff. Good to see you on here, Maker. So let's kind of wrap this up and just give the people an update moving forward. So This is Jazz. What do you want people to call you by? Jazz, Jezebelly,
You can
or
call me. People call me Jez, Jezzy for short, or
okay.
Jezebelly, whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean,
Cool,
whatever
cool.
you feel like.
Awesome, awesome. So you're gonna see her around again. She's a new member to the CGX cast, but she's also gonna be doing stuff for CGX as a whole. We're still trying to, look more into that and see what that's gonna look like. But something we really care about here is someone who has drive. You guys heard us talk about that with Hell Monkey when he came in. And similar, Jess just came in and you can see, right? She's got a new equipment. She's ready to go. And that's really cool
Yes.
to see. And she's definitely knowledgeable. One of the reasons I brought her on this Q&A was for you guys to get to meet her and know her because, I saw this and that's what like got my attention, right? So you guys heard the questions I asked. You saw her respond. She's not a fanboy to one platform. She's definitely knowledgeable about just all of the cloud game platform, and that's something we look for here. And so we're excited. We're excited to
I'm
see
excited.
what
You
comes
gave
out
me
of
an
this for
excuse to go
sure.
to Best Buy and buy a bunch of stuff. So, like, I mean,
There you go.
that's
There
all
you
I can
go.
ask for.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So stay
Hey,
tuned
Victor.
for the stay tuned to the podcast, y'all. She's gonna be a member, and stay tuned for just what she does with CGX as well. It's exciting stuff. So Jez, it's good to have you in today's show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was great to be here. Great to talk to your crowd. It's a fun conversation. Look
Yeah,
forward to
for
doing it
sure.
again on Saturday.
For sure, for sure. All right, fellas, appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.